We're live.
Hello and welcome everyone to Screens of the Sun, the Changing Breeds Chronicle. We are running here on Final Show Films. We are Julia, Lily, and Casey of the Zodiac System, and we are your storytellers for the evening. I'm joined by a wonderful cast of role players who let me mentally and emotionally abuse them every so often, and we allow them to be filmed and put it on the internet for all of you to watch. And so, we will start our introductions today with I have funny things that I say. Easily distracted by pretty people and shiny things, Siobhan, who is muted.
We know, but hey. I'm Siobhan. I'll be playing Dr. Clover McKee, who is a Korax Sunlust.
How dare you call me out so accurately?
Wile Coyote's second cousin twice removed, Jeremy.
Yep, that would be me. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Crystal Arias, who is a Hamid Nuisha.
Her and Siobhan make a murder, Katie.
Yes. Hi, my name is Katie. I'm playing Carrie Nichols, who is a Hamid Korax, Hermetic Order of Swift Light.
And I won a gold star because I waited the entire series to use this. Smarter than the average bear, Shawnee.
Hi, I'm William Rashani, and I am playing Callisto Osborne, the Hamid Usmati Garal of the Mountain Guardians.
And as always, well, first off, Drevian, who usually plays Connor McLaughlin, the Doctor Connor McLaughlin, the Hamid Silicon Bastet, will not be joining us tonight. But we'll hopefully be back for the next stream that goes live. As always, trans rights are human rights. Black Lives Matter. And the following are some good news stories for all of you to hopefully smile at. The title of a 2,000-year-old Greek philosophical text has been read by computer scientists using AI to study scrolls buried by the eruption of Vesuvius. On Vices was written by Philodemus, a Greek philosopher who, this is making it so hard for me to read. You're adorable, but you are annoying. A Greek philosopher who lived in Pompeii nearly 200 years before Vesuvius' eruption and several centuries after the life of Epicurus, a prominent Athenian thinker whose ideas have been discovered among the scrolls before. Around 800 unreadable papyri were found more than 200 years ago by farmers in the ruins of Herculaneum, a city destroyed by Vesuvius' eruption, in a villa that may have belonged to Julius Caesar's father-in-law. So we were finally able to start reading some of the scrolls that were found in Pompeii.
Nice.
Nice. See, this is what we need to use AI for.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Don't replace artists with it, but use it to, make things function.
Scrolls.
AI has very specific use cases, and it's largely in processing an inordinate amount of data, which is what is very useful for figuring out linguistics and medicine.
Can I do a little shout out thingy? There
Sure.
is currently for Twitch a petition to essentially say that we are going to stop the use of AI as the category I guess art or whatever. They are using generative AI. If you would like to make your voice heard and know that we do not want to take work away from human artists, there is a petition that you can search for. It is available on my Blue Sky, which is Dr. Bubbles PhD. I have it posted. So please let your voice be heard and let's not take art away from artists. Thank you.
Absolutely. Physicists experimenting with a giant particle accelerator accidentally proved medieval alchemists right that base metals could be turned into gold. While studying electromagnetic dissociation and beams beam losses, the physicists at CERN's Large Hadron Collider saw that the lead they started with had transformed into approximately 86 billion atoms of gold. Don't let the high number fool you. The nugget measured in the picogram range, less than a trillionth of the weight of a paperclip. However, the experiment showed that fundamental transformations of metals are possible without smashing particles together at high speeds.
I love how it's like they accidentally prove this.
Yep.
That's my favorite kind of
They
science.
turn lead into gold. Very specifically. Very tiny amount of it, but they did.
That never goes wrong in stories.
Yeah, something philosopher's stone, something ultimate sacrifice. We're fine.
I mean, as
sure.
it turns out, the philosopher's stone is just a giant particle accelerator that smashes things together. You know.
Yeah.
Look,
like you do.
we all know, it's really not worth it to go after alchemy because it costs you an arm and a leg.
Okay. Well, last time, conversations were had with Dr. Bright I'm sorry, we were past this. You all woke up the following morning after the conversations.
I'm sure someone was talking to his corpse.
Absolutely, I'm sure. Whatever, scavenger may have found him. On the Umbral side, because that's where
We're just sharing Garfield.
Dancing Cackle would have tossed the body afterwards.
I will say that if we are tossing him into the Umbra, Clover is stuffing his pockets with Garfield clippings. We're spreading the good word of Garfield through the Umbra.
Oh no!
This.
Oh no!
It's going to say heart, like the menagerie, like from the menagerie with love, like in his pockets.
This
okay
never goes wrong. I love this.
Here's the important question: is it the actual strips, or is it the nihilistic, non-dialogueless, or the dialogueless ones?
It is absolutely they are newspaper clippings. You are like, Clover, where are you getting newspapers? How do you have so many in your purse? That is it.
All right. I would go ahead.
The eventual formation of the Garf spirit will be.
Yeah.
My concern was that a passing Nexus crawler would find it, and then just everything would start changing into Garfield related shit.
Look, if the next time Clover goes to the Umbra, she isn't immediately presented a lasagna, she has not done her job.
If it's a Nexus crawler, it'll turn your bones into lasagna.
Yes.
I guess the splitting here there is whether, transformation counts as presentation. But, Carrie had a conversation which was both enlightening and disheartening about the reasons Mouse Hunter changed her into a Korax. And the group did a little bit of reconnaissance and found absolutely nothing strange whatsoever at Erin Carver's house. She lives like a completely normal person. What are you talking about?
There's not celestial beings in the basement.
Yeah. A Tesla was rented, and not a Cybertruck because they wanted to get there in one piece. And
I mean, did we though? Because we did. There's still the self-drivingness.
That is true, and you all did turn off the safeties. So
I like to live dangerously.
Which may have saved our lives.
The group did a little bit of reconnaissance. Connor did a little bit of distraction, and Crystal ended up liberating a small child from a tube in the umbral side of things. A child kept in a stasis pod, who later, after being retrieved and taken to the Sept via the Umbra, was found out to be a being known as Orion, who, if is to believed, may potentially be a physical manifestation of the Big Bang, or at least a clone of said thing. And I believe we ended with Crystal heading
Well,
back.
I believe manifestation of the Big Bang was Callisto's summation. The way that Orion described themselves was they are a spirit. They are the avatar of entropy specifically.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's not concerning to, shifting people at all.
Not at all. No.
Nothing bad in
The-
Werewolf the Apocalypse cosmology is associated with entropy.
yeah, it's just, half of
That's just-
like
that's just
an
a-
entire auspice.
That's just a sphere that the mages use. I don't know what you're on about.
It's fine.
Worm.
Fine.
Worm.
I do believe we left off with Crystal heading back to Aaron Carver's.
Correct.
To get the other
because-
One of my characters fucked the moon, the other one's going to rescue it.
I think that, Moon Rescuer goes a lot further at the Sept than Moonfucker. But depending on the Sept.
Bragging rights regardless.
So we return to Crystal, are you leaving the Umbra and driving back, or are you running back Umbral side the entire way, which will take you a considerable amount of time?
Yeah, no, I'm shifting out of the Umbra, going back to the real. And I think Crystal is just walking along out of the Sept, sees the first person in the vicinity of the Sept. Alexa goes, "Your car. I need it now."
It's going full Terminator. All right.
Roll me.
I don't care. I don't care if they're a kinfolk. I don't care if it's some random visiting elder. Like they're giving me their car.
Give me manipulation and intimidation difficulty 5, please.
Dope. Make sure I'm in my right form. There we go. We'll just switch this from charisma to manipulation. Sorry, what difficulty?
5.
5. Okay. Yeah, that tracks.
The first person you meet, like you do your spiel and you look up and like you center back into reality, and then you just sort of look, and then you have to keep looking up. You're like, your car, to the person next to them.
Fair.
It's a smart car.
You do get a vehicle though.
Okay. I was gonna say, don't make me pull the gun out and start waving it around. You're tall, you'll still go down.
Right. It doesn't matter that you're tall. I've got a gun.
I can take some inches off.
Yep. And I start heading off. I immediately grab my phone, start up the Spotify, take time to hook that up while I'm driving. Don't do what Crystal does, folks. That is generally a good lesson in life.
I love how you're just now saying this after how many episodes?
Yeah. And let's I feel like probably the Yeah, starts up her 80s mood playlist. Because it's important to have tunes.
Okay.
And I'm
So the rest of you, Callisto is in the Umbra, I believe. Callisto and Carrie.
Callisto is still talking with Orion, trying to get everything sorted wrong way.
Correct.
Yeah, I believe I'm there as. Was I in the Umbra?
Yes, I believe.
Yeah, Connor was sitting back Sept side because
That's
he
right,
can't
that's right, that's
he
right.
can't travel across the Umbra.
That's right.
because
Yeah,
meow meow.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still where I was.
So this would be a great time if Clover does want to be in this scene for Clover to snap back into reality.
There
Up there
are
goes
they the
gravity.
Umbra
Thank you.
around the sept, so like where it's like super easy. Like I think last time I did this, I got like 6 freaking successes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me. Do you want me to go ahead and roll over?
Yeah. Give me a Gnosis roll to cross the gauntlet. Difficulty 6. Sorry, no, it's difficulty 5 here.
There we go. It says.
I don't know what it says about like the entire generation of people that we can no longer hear snap back to reality without then
There goes
filling
gravity.
in. There goes
God
gravity.
damn it!
That's 4 successes.
Yeah, you just whip and walk in across the gauntlet. Callisto and Carrie are Callisto's kind of on one knee sitting in front of a completely naked 9-year-old child with like a blanket wrapped around them. 9, 10, long silver hair, glowing eyes.
And we say 9-year-old child. Rough proportions of a 9-year-old child is just a Ken doll. Has no
Yeah.
like defining features.
Yeah, Clover boops through, and this is all still relatively new to her, so she always comes in with a little more momentum than she means to. So basically, gets through the veil and just goes ass over tea kettle a couple of times, and then just pops up and is like, hi.
Good to see you, Clover. Wrong accent. Good to see you, Clover.
Over.
I'd like to interrupt whatever's going on here. What's going on here?
Well,
Uh,
reconnaissance on Aaron Carver's place kind of went to hell in a handbasket when Crystal decided to up and grab one of the individuals that was being kept in stasis on the Umbral side. And as it turns out, Aaron Carver is trying her hardest to fucking clone spirits and has somehow figured it out. Because this individual present here is Orion and is apparently a clone of the manifestation of entropy.
and they're not the only one.
No.
Have we asked how many?
Well, there's one more we're aware of, which is Luna, which is exactly what you might think it is.
We think.
That's rough, buddy.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, not to address the large pachyderm in the room, but where's Crystal?
She had said that she was going to go back and keep an eye on the situation because Luna is still currently being held at that compound.
What that actually means is that Crystal is going to pull another brainheaded scheme and get Luna out of the compound at Aaron Carver's house.
If there's an opportunity, I did. Well, not that she's going to fucking listen to me, but
I
I
was
did
about
tell
to
her
say,
several times not to get herself fucking eaten or throw everything out of whack trying to pull this off.
going to say, "Oh, Callista, that's so adorable."
This is Carrie's just gonna roll her eyes like, this is Crystal we're talking about. If there's not an opportunity, she will make one.
And we let her go alone.
They did.
Okay.
Yes.
Fortunately, there's not really a whole lot of stopping her.
Well, there's. I figure somebody's got to have a good enough sense of smell to follow her.
I mean, I can follow her just fine. It's just a matter of stopping her from doing something stupid.
Oh, see, no. We do not stop things. We just run damage control.
This is
Oh,
why
yeah.
this is why Crystal and Clover get along so well. You understand me.
Look, why does
At the moment,
We don't interrupt the crash out, we just encourage.
at the moment, the best damage control I think that might be able to be pulled off is trying to figure out how I can work with Orion here, considering what they are capable of.
William, you're getting harder to hear, at least on my
All
end.
right. Microphone. I will turn the gain up until I become too loud.
There you go.
Absolutely fair.
So, what do we do now?
Well,
Wait.
Orion, how good is that ability to comprehend things from reading my brain?
What do you want to know?
No, I want to know what you can learn from me.
Is there a specific bit of your knowledge you want me to gain? Or
Yeah, specifically, first up, I want you to gain my understanding of the concept of consent.
do I have your permission to do that?
You do, in fact.
This feels like this may have not happened the first
You
time.
didn't.
Okay.
Apologize for not asking before fixing things.
That's completely all right, just so long as you understand the concept now. And
I
to be
understand
honest,
why it was bad.
to be honest, I will probably sleep better now. But that being said, you now also understand how what is happening at Aaron Carver's is violating consent for so many different people. But
I do.
It's okay. You got your best person on it.
how dangerous is it for you to go back there if you want to?
If I were to go back and they were to capture me, I'm uncertain of what they would be able to do with me.
How do they
Or
even
to me.
capture you in the first place? You seem like the kind of person who couldn't really be caught if you didn't want to be.
Oh, I didn't need to be. Eventually, you can code anything if you work hard enough. Genetics, the same.
What I'm saying is,
Oh.
if you wanted to rescue your sister, could anything actually stop you from doing that?
I believe you call them the worm.
The worm could stop you?
Yes.
So let me just quick get this straight.
Oh,
You're-
not any of it. The with a capital.
So
Yeah, I'm aware.
pattern breaker itself could stop you, and that's about it.
Well, you are the concept of entropy, right?
Correct.
Then don't become a pattern. Have you ever seen, there's this really great movie, it's called Dune. So if we just like essentially do the mental games of like walking on the sand, don't become a pattern.
Don't walk with rhythm. All right.
Interesting.
You can't break a pattern that isn't there.
She
So-
thinks differently than the rest of you.
She does, and it's one of her greatest
Yeah.
strengths.
I'm a
And
doctor.
greatest weaknesses.
We know.
All right. It's
no,
definitely worthwhile that we don't let Femora keep hold of your sister. Or make more. That's definitely not a thing that should be happening.
That is the one I'm more concerned about, because theoretically, it is my guess that they created me genetically. I'm unaware if they actually obtained a sample of the spirit that I manifested of.
I'm gonna even further have to get into the concept of how the hell does cloning work on things that don't have a physical construction, but that's a different question entirely.
Don't think about it too much. You'll start screaming and never stop.
I could show you how the formulas work and everything, but I'm afraid it might.
Yeah, I'm sure the entire
Turn you inside
concept
out.
is worm tainted. I don't really need to know.
Is it anything like quantitative analysis? Maybe I can make heads or tails of it.
It's quite simple. I exist to balance all things. And
Right?
But if more than one of you exists, wouldn't that throw off the balance?
it does. Even now, I can feel there is something wrong in the world.
Oh, buddy, there's a lot of things wrong with the world. But so you're saying there's more than one of you?
Oh, they are a clone. The original spirit's presumably still around somewhere.
So we're dealing with literal chaos.
Entropy. Entropy and chaos are not quite the same thing, but yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. When two essence of entropy walk into a bar, I call that chaos.
I mean, I'd call that a good night, especially if there were certain substances involved, but that's just me. So,
We really have to go out drinking sometime.
how illegal do you feel like being? I've got a menu.
Listen,
In any event, we should probably
what happens in New Mexico stays in New Mexico, baby. I mean,
work on catching up to Crystal's situation and figuring out how best to handle this going forward. Because timetable's out the window if Crystal just goes in and grabs Luna. Trying to sync up our dealing with Miss Carver and the attack on Endron's headquarters at the same time is gonna go completely tits up if she just steals another clone.
Can't
No.
you communicate with her?
I can. She's not gonna fucking listen.
Cut to the car where Crystal is doing only about 25 past the speed limit. Uh, uh, Shout singing "Here I Go Again" by White Snake.
Here's a thought. How much influence do you have on the world around you?
The completely green and lush wild area you're within is suddenly a flame. The entire world engulfed in fire and brimstone. There's lightning. Spirits are rushing rampant, and then they snap their fingers, and you're back the exact same placid, peaceful scene that you were in a moment ago.
Clover
Yeah.
does not even flinch as the shift changes.
That was for everyone.
Yeah. She just goes, excellent. Okay, so if perhaps you were to be out of your head for a minute could you perhaps influence further and maybe cause a little chaos for cover for us?
I don't quite understand what you mean out of my head. That's an
Clover pulls
impossibility
out the
physiologically.
roll of washi tape.
Can spirits get affected by drugs? I don't actually know the answer to that one.
Just,
Are we sure?
we need a theurge.
She pulls about a 2-inch piece and rips it off.
Let's not test whether or
Oh.
not spirits can get high on the embodiment of entropy.
Clover. I don't think this is the right time for an experiment.
It's not an experiment.
Legally, I cannot imbibe. I'm only 6 months old.
Technically, no one can legally imbibe. It's not legal anywhere. Just enough cover for us to get in and get out. Hold on, mommy. And she rips it in half, so it's just one.
What are you trying to do?
We will give it to them and then pop them in an opposite part of town from us and possibly cause all the attention to go there for us to wander into the building easy peasy and wander out.
And leave the embodiment of entropy unguarded? You want to use the embodiment of entropy as bait?
Break the pattern.
I don't know whether to be impressed or offended. That's fantastic.
A little bit of both is usually what I go for.
Typically,
Chris,
exactly
Crystal
what
does,
my master's thesis chairs all said to me.
Crystal does not understand why, but she suddenly feels like she deserves an apology for all the time she's been accused of making bad decisions.
Oh no,
Oh no.
nope.
The thing is, if you have an influence on the world around you, either you can go across town and create a distraction, or you can come with us and, for lack of a better term, fuck shit up enough for us to have an easy access to the door.
Look around you and think of the maniac driving in a van. Do you really think we need help fucking shit up?
Yes, Crystal is a dagger. This is a nuke.
I think I actually have a better plan on that front.
All right, and then she puts it in her mouth.
Oh,
Orion, this is a weird one, and I realize I might as well be asking this question of a mage. How much influence do you have over the flow of time?
That's not a sphere in which I am capable of manipulating.
Good. All right. Well, that doesn't give me the solution that I was hoping for, but it does make it at least confirmed that there are limits. What about space? How quickly do you think we could get back to the Carver site with your assistance?
Instantly.
Good, so we can get there ahead of Crystal. Second, are you capable of manifesting in the material world?
He just sort of reaches out a finger, wipes down, and just the seal of reality splits as he does.
No, they usually take 7 or 8 hits to get there.
There's something going on in my brain, in my body.
Care to rationalize it?
My chest is tight.
That sounds like fear.
Or anxiety.
Clover digs around in her purse.
That sounds like a natural response saying no, probably not. It's probably not a good idea to try and find out.
You see the thought form in the child's mind. And he raises a hand, goes towards the opening, and just uses a thumb to smooth it back closed.
Good. We're figuring out limits, and that's a good thing. For now, can we get back not directly to where you were taken from, but to the vicinity so we can try and figure out a plan from there?
We're there.
She looks around. I'm assuming the
Yeah,
environment
just-
has just changed.
The environment is completely changed. You are about a block away from the Carver home.
Shit, not even time to blink. All right. As Callisto reaches out over the totem phone, hey, Crystal, we got here before you.
Sorry, what?
We got here before you did.
By all accounts, it doesn't make sense. Clover motioning with a Sharpie that doesn't exist.
Peter,
Basically teleported.
I just
Peter.
haven't really teleported, and it wasn't that I just lost 12 hours of my life.
Right.
Yes. Which
That's
I
never fun.
has happened before.
All right. Callisto is just going to try and get a view. What does the Umbra
Wait.
look like in the vicinity? Because she hasn't been Umbra side around the Carver house before, so.
It's very clinical around this area. It's all barren and dry, and even in the Umbra, there's this sense of wrongness over here. Of this is not the way nature is intended anything to live. That weird griddedness that the world exists in is built up in this area with different bones and different jumbles of technology and construction equipment, just sort of scattered haphazardly, in all honesty.
Wait. How did you get there?
As it turns out, you left the embodiment of entropy that has the ability to send things to places where they need to go get in the car.
You took the long way.
I'm sorry. You took them back?
We're not at the site where they were, but in the general vicinity. They wanted to get their sister back as well.
That's good. All right, let me see if I can explain this without yelling.
Yes, please don't yell. I can't figure how to turn the volume down on totem phone.
I will try not to yell. So if we know that this is the physical embodiment of entropy, and it has those kinds of powers, y'all realize entropy is neither good nor bad, first of all. Like, there are multi-prongs to this issue, but
Oh yeah.
okay. So we understand that what it may end up feeling the need to do may not be in our best interests.
Certainly, but there's a better chance that it will, at the very least, be helpful to not leave it alone while we try and do this.
Sure.
Crystal.
I think we had this. Yes, Clover?
Callisto wouldn't let me give entropy acid, and I'm really sad.
That's good.
Why are you all ganging up on me? This feels really personal.
This guy, please. Okay, I'm gonna give our birds a pass here because they weren't given the education on this. Callisto, I'm not sure if you were or not, But hey, here's a fun history lesson. Do we know how the worm became the worm?
Oh yeah.
Entropy went insane.
Well,
Sometimes the crazy ones are right. Maybe not at first, but there's truth in there.
Pattern Breaker went mad due to the direct intervention of the Weaver. Yes.
And trapped entropy, who then trapped in the web, became the worm and decided to destroy everything because it lost its purpose. What we have is the physical manifestation of what happened before it went insane.
Maybe it's a take two. A redemption arc.
Absolutely.
So we need to
Maybe we keep him away from.
We need to do shadow work, and the easiest way to do that is through acid. Yeah, absolutely. You're so correct, Crystal.
No, 100% not. I'm saying maybe we don't currently, in this new fresh state, keep them, put them around things that, might seem familiar or things that the corrupted version of them created. Like this is fully a fantasy trope, you guys.
I mean, would you rather we leave them directly outside the werewolf sets?
No. I don't.
They could go stay at my house at Percy. They can color books and watch Bluey.
Weirdly, baby worm hanging out with the vampire is the least terrifying option here.
Excellent. And Clover will turn to the manifestation and go, "Do you want to go watch Bluey?"
Orion blinks at you a few times.
Oh, this is your second shot, right? This is your redemption arc, and the best thing to do is learn how to parent yourself. So we should go watch Bluey. And Clover gives her address.
There is a scary amount of sense there.
I was about to say that makes an uncomfortable amount of sense.
That's the beauty of Clover. She's gonna say the most unhinged thing, but technically be right.
It's not just me.
I was about to say, as somebody who's currently going through that, and that is like the main goal of our therapy. Yeah, unfortunately, everything Clover just said is correct.
Yeah, I don't like it, but it's true.
Clover's gonna give.
So you are
her house, and
suddenly Clover and Orion are gone.
Hey, that actually might make things a little bit safer.
I'm at peace with that.
Sorry, what's safer? Or I don't know if you're saying. Sorry,
she said realized.
Okay, yeah.
All things considered, if anyone could theoretically get the original form, basically the tabula rasa of Pattern Breaker, to understand everything properly and not fall into the same traps that the original did, I would trust Clover to try that.
Weirdly, yes.
I agree.
So I mean, I've got a while till I'm gonna get there, because how far this is a ways of a drive, if I remember correctly.
You guys are like you're like a half hour ahead of Crystal.
Yep. Well, I'm speeding my way there. Massively, way over speeding. Somebody, I don't know who I took this car from, but they're gonna have so many tickets. But
right, California does camera tickets, don't they?
Yep. Plus there's the 3 cops that I evaded on the way here, so it's fine. I shot out their car tires. They're not chasing me.
Yeah, so casually.
I'm kidding.
I led them on a high speed chase, and then I hopped into the umbrella before I got out of the car.
They're understaffed. It's fine.
Since I'm assuming that we all plan to live beyond this particular situation,
I'd like to.
we should start pre-planning.
Yeah.
Was
Because
it
we're gonna need to figure out what to do with baby worm and baby moon.
So you realize that if we do this, we're throwing any sense of synchronization with the Endron building attack out the window.
I am aware of that fact. It is
can
highly unfortunate.
I ask why?
Why it throws things off, or why we're doing it regardless.
Why throw things off?
Because once we start breaking shit, honestly, we might have already ruined it. But once we start breaking shit at Carver's place, we don't have a method of making sure they don't alert the Endron building.
I don't plan on breaking shit. I literally walked in.
I really my only concern there is the elders. There's a few of them I really don't want to piss off.
Well, I don't want to
We-
sound like I am being corrupted by making friends, but I'm far less concerned about pissing off the elders when I have the moon and baby worm next to me.
I get that, but you've seen Madam Web, right? Okay. Yeah, she explodes into spiders. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, we will not want that to happen if Orion is around, because Orion might take that as a threat, and then Madam Web is gone.
Yeah, I'm just
gone.
I don't feel okay. I'm trying to wrap my head around all this. So
the big thing is one hijacking. We can probably play off as that was the entire goal of the attack. They probably will just be trying to find their missing clone of Pattern Breaker.
If they know.
But if we take a second one, they'll know something's up.
And that is extremely unfortunate. Right now, if you ask me, Endron bad. Endron need burn down and salt the earth. But metaphorically, we don't want to actually salt the earth. But this is bigger.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just trying to salvage.
Is it so bigger that we can't give it a couple of hours? Just to time things right.
Here's my question. I think we're probably fine, but if you are correct and they're like, oh, there was a kidnapping of Orion, do you think we will get another shot at this, at Luna?
Is that giant fucking pattern spider?
Yes, it is giant.
That was mentioned earlier, still around?
Oh.
Getting closer and looking at the Carver compound, there are a number of large pattern spiders. Which, if you remember back to this morning, is more than there were or this afternoon when you guys went to
Well, I'd say that
the first time.
Well, I'd say that security's already been tightened because the number of pattern spiders around has multiplied.
Then then we have to go in. We won't get another shot at this. They will move Luna somewhere else. And do we really want to do we really want to tell Orion that something that is going to make them potentially angry? We are, you know me. I like dancing around the twister board that has the mines under it. But this is the twister board that has one safe spot. Everything else is mines. And once we get them out, we need to have a plan to keep them away from worm forces. I'll say it, the Guru, and everything else
How
that
do you
might try
propose
to
we do
use
that?
them.
I mean,
I mean, the
think
easiest example. Go
I mean,
ahead.
they have a low jack on these things? Like I'm some kind of tracker?
I doubt it, but I wouldn't put it past them. Here's the thing. I'm less concerned about, and I know this is going to be weird to say, I am less concerned about Pentex and all that than I am about what Brother Wolf might do.
I mean, they already were about to try and kill Orion, so.
And that's the least scary option. What happens when Shadow Lord elders or Silverfang elders decide that they would like to try and use Orion?
Yeah, it's not a good
No,
highlight.
we need them to be with somebody who is not going to try to use them in some political power grab.
I am currently envisioning Clover and Orion sitting in the Umbra with just a window-sized hole into the reel watching Bluey. So that's better.
That's better. That is strangely the best option.
Where am I, DM? Am I in the Umbra, or are we physically in my house with myself, Percy, and the manifestation of entropy on?
Oh, Orion has allowed you to step across and to interact with Percy. Who is Percy today?
Who's Percy?
Percy is not Alex or Alice. Percy is fronting today. They are very confused because you've been gone for a bit, but this is not the first time you disappeared. But Orion hesitates crossing again.
Clover stops as she comes through and sees them hesitate. What's wrong?
Don't know if I can exist within your world.
Do we need to come to yours? Would that be easier?
They can't.
Looks at Percy. Why not?
They can't.
That doesn't answer my question. You can't just answer my question I ask for clarification with the same thing you said before.
Because they are not supposed to exist within these realms. They will be torn asunder.
And you can't exist here because
we already exist in your world. Luna and I can't step forward physically onto your side without there being potentially catastrophic ramifications to reality itself.
I did ask for magic, and I suppose this was my comeuppance about it. Um, so you can't. Can you at least still see? Like, it's very important that you watch Bluey to learn how to love yourself. Like, I can grab my laptop. Do you have Wi-Fi over there?
No.
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 I suppose
I
I
did
can
say
walk
just
out.
window-sized hole watching the screen.
I could. I mean, I could just do a one-man show of Bluey episodes on the Umbra side for you. I will tell you, I will favor Muffin. She is my favorite. They will be Muffin episodes.
I'm pretty certain Orion can see across the
Yeah.
hole they've made.
Yeah, they
You
can
can
see
literally
through the
just-
hole.
Play the thing.
Clover does disappear from the room. Like, so I don't know if y'all remember her house, but like the main room is like where like her altars and all that stuff are, and there's like a big TV in the center. And so that is currently Bop and Bluey, and Clover runs out of the room and comes back because Percy and Alex and all of them have been over a lot. She comes back with a sippy cup full of lemonade, a big old bag of Welch's fruit snacks, and like a ridiculously large lollipop,
Okay.
and passes them over into the envelope.
We are giving amateur pea candy. I'm here for this.
And Clover is going to like pop down and put on Clover is going to pop down and put on Granny Mobile. And as the episode is playing, Clover begins to explain why she chose this episode. Once again, this is I love this character who's always unhinged but technically correct every time, and says, "See, sometimes you can't always fight your nature, but you can utilize your nature in a way that is beneficial to those around you."
I suppose I see the point in that.
And Clover will rustle around the couch. There's baskets everywhere. She's a basket bitch. And she pulls out a little shawl, very much akin to all the clothing she wears. And she reaches through to the Umbra and puts it around Orion's head like the grannies in Bluey. And then she goes, "Okay, all right." And then puts on charades.
Okay.
And once again, we're going Muffin episode. She called her shot. And then talks about how even if, you are feeling big feelings, sometimes it is important for you to understand that while those around you are trying their best to accommodate them, sometimes it's best for you to take a breather. And like literally puts on multiple Bluey episodes and explains the themes of them on how to have your redemption arc. This is Clover's final contribution to this menagerie of parenting entropy.
Only
Okay.
Clover could do this. Literally only Clover out of everyone.
Clover's like, my time has come.
Please tell me that Clover has like a thesis on, or will have a thesis about planning a redemption arc around Bluey episodes.
I genuinely think while she's doing this, because she's in the tail end of her second dissertation, she goes, "What about a third PhD on the reparenting of oneself through small children's media?"
Fantastic.
And leans over to Percy because it's Percy fronting and go, "Hey, I want you to do some research for me while we do this."
They crack their knuckles, which make no sound.
And Clover like plops her laptop in Percy's lap and is like writing notes so she's not interrupting the episodes of where she wants to go with her next dissertation. Also, I need to turn the light on. Give me a second.
Back on.
Yep.
Back in. back in the east side of Sacramento, our group is currently planning on what to do at the well. Two of our group is currently planning on what to do at the Carver compound, while the other is breaking international law and speed limits. I assume on the
Only
first one.
some international laws.
Fair.
Mostly federal.
None of the important ones. So, oh, shit. So
So what's the proposition here? Is it break in, grab Luna, also take Luna to watch Bluey?
no, it's break in, sneak in, grab Luna, get Luna out, reunite Luna and Orion, and whichever of us want to go on an extended road trip, constantly dodging the worm, the guru, whatever other power structures may be interested in it, and playing mom, third mom, fourth mom, and fifth mom to omnipotent beings.
This is over totem phone, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Clover goes, I'm wine on. Thank you very much.
I mean, that's fair.
Also, I don't know how Connor would appreciate being called a mom.
Oh no, Connor.
Oh yeah, sometimes I forget. Not that Connor exists, but
Ringtail's just like, I am very confused about most of this conversation.
all you need to know, Ringtail, is we're going on a road trip soon.
Do we
Okie
have?
dokie.
There's no way to. I mean, besides kill the big bad thing, have them live peacefully.
We can't all
I mean,
be going on the run.
the big bad thing is functionally God.
Yeah, no. I know we're not a Session 100 D&D party. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I get that. We don't all I'm not saying that we all should go or should be expected to go, but if there is not a solution to this that ends with these two, I don't even like that option. I don't even like the idea of sending them off to the deep umber where nothing can get the nation and the worm, etc. can't get a hold of them because they can eventually.
Well,
I
from
mean, all I'm really
conversation with Orion, it doesn't seem like Orion can exist in physical space. Probably because the worm is already there.
all I'm really saying is temporary measures, because even if you go on the run, how long can you go on the run?
So
I would like to
anything.
introduce you to the concept of an umbral dancer, which is those of Coyote's brood who haven't been on this side of the gauntlet in a long time. You can hide a long time.
Is that something you're prepared to do?
Yep.
Let's focus on the rescue for now, but the aftermath is gonna have to be figured out. Let's not jump straight to going on the run. Let's figure out what options there might be aside from that.
If you
Because at
can
the
come up
moment-
with one, I'll give you. I will happily listen.
I mean, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't know, based on a conversation with Orion, that once Orion knows well enough how to take care of themselves, that anyone in any of the groups you just mentioned will be able to take control of them without their permission.
That is entirely fair.
How long is that going to be before they're full grown?
How long is that going to be? And are the chances good? No, I would say there's about a 1 in I don't know, 760,000 chance. 760 million chance. There's still a chance. And if he said that they said that they can't exist on the other side.
Yeah, from what I gathered, I mean, I didn't get the full details. If anyone has, it's probably Clover being able to talk.
They cannot be on this side.
Is that they literally cannot, it is not possible, or they should not.
There was mentions of collapse of existence or something like that. I don't know.
So probably a should not, but with a really, really, really emphasized should.
So, like, you know, maybe exactly what the worm wants to have happen.
Yeah, so
The
definitely
destruction
don't.
of everything.
Yeah, so definitely do not want them on the living on the material side.
No. But I'm pretty sure the worm will want them on the physical side. They're their big red button.
But then what about Luna?
Probably the same thing. So we need to stop Carver from growing more nukes.
We absolutely do. And we need to make sure that they have access to as few nukes as possible. And by few as possible, I mean 0.
Did you see any more when you were down there?
There's a bunch of fucked up shit down there. There are no. I am not a worm scientist. So, and I did not have a lot of time. I know that's shocking. I am not a worm scientist. But I didn't have a lot of time regardless to really look at charts or anything like that I would not be able to read anyways. But mostly they just look like failed experiments. Except for these two.
The entire site needs to be erased, and Carver's
from
ability to
orbit.
make more needs to be eliminated.
Going to say, sounds like this place needs wiped off the map.
But before that, we need to get Luna safe.
Correct.
So what's the plan?
Because I think we'll lose a lot of wisdom if we let the moon die.
Do we even know what kind of shit is inhabiting what was Aaron Carver?
Nope.
No idea, but
Foamrai,
probably dangerous if it's figured out how to clone spirits.
Probably. Yeah, it ain't good, whatever it is.
So if it's cloned spirits, this is just catching me up. The spirits they were cloned from still exist?
Yes.
Yep.
From understanding of Orion, it makes a lot more sense now, the idea that Carver might have been able to get a sample of the worm, capital T, capital W, to make Orion. Luna. Well, there are Luna incarnae and fragments of the moon's spirit all over the Umbra. I'm sure it wasn't probably that hard to find a sample.
This is going to sound crazy, and I understand that it's most things that come out of my mouth. But have we tried hollering at the OG Luna for backup?
Can't hear you.
Have we tried hollering at the OG Luna for backup?
I don't. So I'm not that familiar with werewolf on this end. My understanding is that Luna's not like in one piece right now as a spirit.
If I'm remembering correctly, not so much.
Yeah. I mean, Luna. It is the even if she was, it's the equivalent of an ant trying to yell at a human to get its attention.
I'm a very loud ant.
We're all very loud ants, especially when we get the wine in us. I don't know. This is. I realized I'm probably the last person to be suggesting that, who would suggest this normally. But I'm just going to throw it out there. I think it might be a dumb idea, but can we ask? Can we contact? I don't think we should tell them why. Just tell them that it is a reality or death situation, and ask the sept and everybody, this incredibly fragile, large, almost bureaucratic coalition that we've put together, if they can, move quicker on the whole Endron thing.
The amount of people that have to get moving, I think we're already pushing it. And the whole purpose was to catch them early in the morning at the hours that people were coming into work. If we move it any earlier, we'll just be attacking an empty building.
I think she means our overseers taking out their overseers. Am I getting that correctly?
No, but I'm intrigued by this thought process.
We all answer to somebody. And do they answer to somebody else? Go up the chain. There's got to be someone very powerful at the top we can holler at, and maybe have some.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. We don't have time for that. We don't have time to send stuff up the chain, I don't think. Good
Barbara would
idea,
like to
but
talk to a manager.
yeah.
I'm very good at getting managers' attention.
I believe you.
DM, I have since lost my notebook because there have been so many moving things.
Yep.
What was the name of the guru that I was friends with?
Icebreaker.
Icebreaker. I could have Icebreaker come and join you in my stead. Clover, there you hear the gasp on the phone. Okay, you hear the gasp over the totem phone, and Clover looks at Percy and goes, "Are you detectable by other worm, or did they just read that you are a wormling?"
What?
Percy knows nothing about this.
If you wanted to get near things that were like you, would they be like, that is a distinct like you, or a general like you thing? Looks at Orion. Could I get the worm close to the worm without them noticing?
No. Others will sense that they are not Gaian made.
Would that be, do we know if that would be something that would blip their radar, or at least be like, hey, reinforcements?
Let's not put your vampire friend in the crosshairs.
Percy, do you want to save the world and maybe garner some positive brownie points with the werewolves?
I wanted to watch Sleepover.
We can watch Sleepover at the end.
We've switched over to Alex or Alice at this point, yeah.
but define saving the world. That sounds interesting. How would we be able to do that for you?
Do you want to save the moon?
That it sounds very important to me and every other witch. So I feel like this is a trick question. Yes.
Okay. Right. You can't come over there. I mean, how far away are we?
Do you need me to like break in somewhere, steal something, like
You're
kill
very good at
somebody?
getting to places that you're not supposed to be.
Always have been.
Hold on. Where is my car? I cannot remember where Clover
I feel like the drive from your place to Aaron Carver's is going to be longer than for Crystal to get here.
Yes, because I'm closer and going
And
probably.
speeding, yeah.
I am pushing the limits of physics on what this car, whatever it is, can do.
Well, Clover could get back there quickly. I can't recall. Can vampires like Percy have celerity? Could Percy just fucking book it?
Well, I mean, your car would have been at home last.
Was that last? I can't remember. Clover doesn't keep track of where she's been.
I don't keep track of your car. That's
I
your
believe-
thing.
I believe-
She's
your
left
car
her
is at
car like
home.
3 different places, and then several other people have driven it.
Your car is, I do believe, at home. Celerity won't outpace a car until you get to like elder vampire levels of
Okay.
celerity.
Yeah, and if I'm remember correctly, Percy is Malkavian. Can have celerity, not a clan discipline. So
Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was just thinking, use the worm to take out the worm.
It's a good
blood.
thought, but I don't think the logistics are there.
Yeah.
I can
this
make
sounds
somebody
like
crazy. Is that what you need?
Mm,
oh
not right now.
no.
Not right now. Maybe later.
Percy just sort of flicks their eyes towards Orion and back at the screen.
Definitely not them. Well, maybe, I don't know. Just remains to be seen. There may be some experimentation that has to happen, but my pack is not very pleased with my curious nature.
You love your curious nature. That's not true at all.
We love your curious nature. There need to be ethical limits and concerns.
There need to be guardrails.
Yeah.
When Crystal is like, okay, you've gone too far, that's when you know.
Just subject the concept of entropy to dementation by a Malkavian. What could go wrong?
And then we have the baby worm.
Yeah, our baby fix turned into a baby problem, and so then we had to deal with that. But I need Callisto and Carrie to both give me perception and alertness difficulty 7.
All right, let's see who's noticed us now. Two.
You don't know what's going on over at the Carver compound, but movement has started to happen. There are 2 large pattern spiders that, while generally not aggressive towards each other, are fighting hardcore.
Something's about to hit the fan. The local spiders have gotten into a tizzy.
Are they
And
supposed
by
to fight
tizzy,
each
I mean
other
an
like
all-out
that?
fucking brawl.
How far away am I at this point?
About another 10 minutes.
Stall them.
Are they supposed to fight each other like that?
No, they're not, and that's what's got me concerned.
Well, how are we supposed to stop it?
Don't stop it. Stall them.
How? If you
how do
start
I
singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider, like what the hell? What do you do to stop it?
You record it and you put it on TikTok.
No.
Right.
Callisto is going to try and get a little closer and see if she can identify what's caused one pattern spider to turn on another when they're meant to be, parts of the weaver and thus usually in sync.
Mm-hmm. I go ahead and give me, that would be let's go with wits and enigmas difficulty 8. since that's dealing with spirits and stuff.
Enigma. Hey, 2 successes.
Something to do with the data processing and movement of electronic signals in the area has changed, causing different behavioral patterns. Something something of high computational magnitude is going on in the Carver house.
Ah, shit. There's a supercomputer being turned on. Things are about to be happening. I don't know if we got the 10 minutes to wait for you, Crystal.
Anybody got a really big magnet?
It's fine. The police can look for this car. They'll never find it. Can I push the speed any further than what I'm already pushing it?
Give me dexterity and give me a dex and drive difficulty. Let's say 8 at this point with how hard you're, because you're now going through city streets.
Do I have driving? Here we go. Okay. Diff 8 regularly.
Yes.
Okay, because I do have the expert driver merit, so that makes it diff 6.
Okay. Yep, that'll be diff 6 for you.
All right. I'm going to spend a willpower, even that being the case, because
This is you rolling dice.
So that would be 5 successes.
Hey.
It's gonna cause a stir. And
I don't give a shit.
And this car's definitely gonna be on the news later. But I
give even less of a
way.
shit.
Please tell me it's a white
way
Ford
down a
Bronco.
street and cut your time in half. You're able to get there in about 4 minutes.
5 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. When I say go, you go in and get Luna. I will provide the distraction.
I assume by distraction you mean crashing that car directly into the house while you hop the Umbra.
Well, I'm not gonna do it now.
No, now I don't want to.
God, that sounds like so.
Just fucking do it.
I am going to.
My honest question is, how fast are you going to be? Do you conserve momentum when you hop the Umbra?
Oh no, I'm going to take a metric shit ton of damage.
But so will that building.
But that building is going to. Oh man. Have you ever seen a building implode on because of a car? Because I think you might.
Yes.
So with
also,
Crystal,
there's like 5 cop cars behind me trying to keep up, and it's hilarious.
With Crystal careening down inner city streets towards this residential neighborhood, that is where we will take our break and come back to more shenanigans in just a little bit. Remember, when we take our break, you take yours. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to, and we will be back in just a few minutes after these commercial messages.
We're back.
We are back. Not a dinosaur story, but just back. So Crystal Crystal, you slide in at
Yep.
onto the street and
So I
are
have a
pointed
question.
directly at the house.
I have a question.
Okay. I assume a number of answers that are going to be needed.
Would it be possible with me focusing on trying to pull impossible tasks like I'm doing to spend an action to shift into Coyote Glabro?
No, I think it'll be you'll have to do it at an increased difficulty, but other than that, I think you could be able to do it.
All right, I'm gonna give it a shot because whether she survives this or not, this will be her greatest moment ever. But she also would like to potentially survive.
Survival is the preferred state of existence for most beings.
All right, so the stamina primal urge would normally be
It would only be 6 because you're in Hamid.
right. What am I rolling at?
8.
All right.
Would you like to spend a willpower on this?
You're goddamn right I would.
I'd ask you if you want to spend a rage, but then you just stare at me.
Yep. All right.
Hey, got that.
Boom.
Yep, you are able to
I
turn
am-
into Glabro.
Is there, when I did the first scout, when I was there first, was there like any signifier outside the house of like a generator, external generator, or anything like that?
Not outside external, no.
Okay.
Just crash into the front door.
Trying to remember the layout. I'm just going to
So-
aim for what will cause the most damage to anyone in the general vicinity when this fireball that to be, because I'm assuming it's going to blow up, explodes.
Like, if not blow up, you'll at least take a decent chunk of the house with you.
I am currently Slim Pickens on the nuke, riding it in and hoping I can shift. I'm hoping I can pass through the gauntlet.
Okay. In that case, I am going to need a Gnosis roll, difficulty 8. You need 3
Willpower into that one
successes.
too. You better.
Yep,
You need 3 successes. You better put some willpower in there.
I did. No pull mud. I remembered not to do it this time. I finally remembered. Right before I die.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You are going into that wall.
I mean, technically, with the willpower, I did get 1 success, but that's
Yeah,
not
it's not a
me.
botch. You're not stuck in the gauntlet. But you
That
just
would
don't
be
go anywhere.
better.
It
It
would be better to be stuck
legitimately
in the
would have
gauntlet
been
right now.
better because I would not be in the car.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
Spending a
With-
willpower point was a mistake.
okay.
the one time an automatic success is a mistake.
This may be the greatest character death I've ever had.
Oh my god. So, Callisto and Carrie.
Yes.
Holy shit.
We'll get back to that in a minute.
Ah!
I guess Crystal, Carrie, Clover, and Connor all at the same time get the feeling that a phone has been hung up.
That can't be good.
I mean, she's in. I mean, there's a ridiculous amount of dice to roll here, but she is in a form that can soak this.
She is.
Nah. I get this. Like, no. There's no chance.
No. She was going, let's see, going at 150 miles an hour into a solid
Everything in that
object.
car just disintegrated.
Yeah, most of the front is now the back, and most of the back is now
Like,
sideways.
there's only so much soaking that can be done.
I'm going to
Uh,
not pepper in a funeral director story here, but yeah, that's
Yeah. I
Uh,
just want to say, and it makes sense because it was the song right after Here I Go Again. As she's driving in, it's crowded house. Don't dream it's over.
Oh.
An appropriately maudlin song
Oh
as
my
she's
God.
laughing like a maniac.
Callisto, Carrie, on the other side, you see the two pattern spiders just still going at it, and then all of a sudden, the front of the house dents in massively, about 15 foot caved in.
Holy fucking shit.
That's Crystal, isn't it? Or that was Crystal, wasn't it?
Well, we don't got time to put that together. Fucking let's go.
All right, I'm following you.
Callisto just making her way in. There is now a hole for her to enter through.
There sure is.
And you're upon getting closer, it's probably a good 30-foot hole just chunked out of the side of this building.
Callisto, as she steps through, is looking for the directions that she was given previously of where the way down into the lab is.
Mhm.
And as she does, she looks over her shoulder. If things get dicey down here and things start going fucking tits up, your number one job is grab Luna and get the fuck out.
Okay.
Guys, what just happened?
Nothing good,
Why can't I feel Crystal anymore?
because there isn't a crystal anymore.
I thought you guys said you were just going to drive and check this place out. What happened? Why did things get so bad?
That's a complicated and long story.
Look, right now, Ringtail, we have a job to do. We can parse this out later. I'm not trying to be callous. I am literally trying to save the world.
You find a set of stairs down into the basement. And after after the first 5 rooms, you realize this basement level is very labyrinthine, it's going to take you a minute to work your way through it. But eventually you do find your way into a makeshift lab. There's glass strewn about the floor. Several large domed cylindrical apparatuses containing bodies of various things and creatures. A large computer on one wall, just spouting out runes and equations and things that neither of you understand in an alien language that just does not resemble anything human. And sitting curled up in the fetal position, wrapped in her own long silver hair, is you'd probably say 8 to 9-year-old girl in one of these cylinders.
She's inside the cylinder.
Yes.
Callisto.
You're in Krynos form.
Yeah, she shifts up into Krynos, and just looks over her shoulder. This is about to get real loud. We don't. I don't have the stealth here, and she just walks over, puts a hand on the casket, and just pulls it until the lid comes off.
I would make you roll, but the thing is made of glass. Yeah, you pop that can that open like a can of Pringles, and there's a small child within.
Very gingerly as a giant bear person can, just sort of scoop them out.
Carrie.
It may be that Orion was awake and moving and cognizant, but she is limp like a noodle.
Is there
That sort of tracks with what we saw when Crystal showed up the first time.
Mhm.
So.
Is there any sort of like cloth or lab coat or anything that I can grab?
You can find some spare cloth
Okay.
to wrap her in.
Yeah, she just Carrie grabs the biggest piece of cloth she can find, wraps her up, holds her arms out, said I've to Callisto saying, I've got her.
Yeah, Callisto will hand her over.
I need perception and alertness checks, difficulty 7 from both of you.
Two.
Okay. Both of you are aware of the sound of footsteps approaching. Loud.
From the same direction we came from, or
opposite?
Okay. So she'll look over it. She'll look over it at Carrie. Go.
Carrie gets the hell out of Dodge.
Give me Carrie, Dex, and Athletics, difficulty 6. Just for working your way back and carrying the small child in the dilapidated and honestly breaking apart environment. Four successes. All right. Yeah. You have no issue getting this girl up and out of the building. You come out into that same it's night at this point, into that same dark night sky. And you can just feel eyes on you, multiples.
Am I in the Umbra or am I in the
you're still in the Umbra. This would have been Umbra side.
Umbra side? Okay.
And from what you know, Luna can't go on the reel, so any journey you're gonna have to take is gonna have to go through the Umbra.
Does shit. Does Totem Phone work in the Umbra?
Yes. Totem Phone works all the time, yeah.
Okay. Hey, fuck, why am I forgetting everybody's name? Clover.
Yes.
Clover, I have Luna. This is via Totem Phone.
Yeah.
I have Luna. I need to get to where you are. I'm in the Umbra. What do I do?
Clover looks at Orion. She has your sister.
Carrie is just running. Like,
can you go to her and bring her to me?
In a minute.
A minute.
Orion is focused in on the cartoon.
Clover's gonna pause it.
I wasn't done watching that.
All right. Look at me. 1 more minute.
Okay.
And she will continue and literally be like, Alexa, set an alarm for 60 seconds.
The alarm goes off, and Orion is gone. And Carrie, I assume Clover's Place is the most likely location that Carrie would have started to head.
Yes, she
Okay.
is just running in that general direction.
You get about a minute down the road, and then Orion appears about 10 feet ahead of you.
She stumbles to a stop. Please help.
Where's Luna?
In my arms.
That's not Luna.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Callisto.
All right, now the fun begins.
As you are looking and waiting, you are just sort of taking in your surroundings, and there is something that catches your eye, and you have to do a double take because that's not right. There is the skeleton of an alligator that has segments of its body that have been distended, the muscle and fiber apart from it, the skeleton still moving freely, but this muscle coming in and out, constantly displacing, like a puzzle piece being torn apart and put back together as it moves. And the name on the side of the tank is L.U.N.A.
Fucking hell. All right, take two, she says as she just like reaches over, yanks the lid off.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Says who is approaching.
Yes. The sound of clicking high heels as a woman, a sleek black bun atop her head in a three-piece suit, leans against the doorway.
Callisto's hand still on the canister. And you want to give me a good reason that I should listen to a Fomorian in service of Pattern Breaker?
Ooh. Interesting. You know who I am. That puts me at a disadvantage. I don't think I know any bears in the area.
Good, and it's going to stay that way.
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. I think I'd like to get to know every single one of you in my forests.
They're not yours.
They will be.
Yeah,
Them
give
and
me a
half
good
of this
reason.
country. I mean, you want to live, right? I would not let Gaia's wrath free if I were you.
See, the problem is, Gaia's wrath includes me.
I thought you were supposed to be Gaia's humility.
Well, we all have to be her wrath sometime.
I suppose that's fair. So the question is, are you going to open it or are you not?
She looks over at it. Does she sense the same like source of rage that she's familiar with from the moon inside?
Oh yeah.
Yep. The moon is where every shifter gets their rage from, which is why a lot of the ones that are sun based don't have as much. So she sort of looks at it. How did you even manage this?
Oh, I know what you're thinking. And that would be a lot easier. But no, they're not clones, they're approximations. And unfortunately, some things grow way differently than you originally intend. Have you ever had a strawberry that suddenly grows up to be an onion?
No, but I get the point you're aiming at.
And to be honest, I had some scientists throw some stuff at a wall to see what would stick.
Yeah, I don't think it stuck.
I don't know. I think entropy worked out very well. I just really wish you would have thought before you took malice. That would have been nice.
Hmm. We'll deal with that one when we come to it. This one, though. Well, I made a promise, and she cracks it open.
Okay. You smash that open, and that alligator comes full force, just thrashing about. Give me wits and empathy difficulty. Let's go 8. It's alien enough.
Not a botch, because I did subtract my willpower before rolling, as I was about to say it. But it's still 0.
No idea whether that was the right or wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
But it is free, and it goes for this woman, and she does not move. She just holds up a finger and snaps, and it freezes.
The thing is, Callisto did move.
Absolutely.
Because immediately behind the writhing mass that is Luna is a giant bear woman with a fang dagger.
All right, yeah, go ahead and roll that attack for me.
This is the first time I have used this in the entire game.
And this is a situation where there's no double guessing that thing was unclipped immediately.
Oh yeah. So 5 successes.
5 successes, so that's an extra 4 dice on the damage.
And then I'm going to roll Gnosis to make it bite. I succeed.
Y'all are about to see some big numbers.
So 16 aggravated damage.
So, Callisto, will you please describe to me how you kill this woman?
So yeah, she reaches up, looking at Luna like that's the actual threat in the room, and snaps her fingers to freeze it. And just the instant she does that, there's a thunk as she looks down and just sees a bear claw holding a massive, oversized dagger embedded into her abdomen. And then there's just there's almost like a writhing sensation as the knife itself starts to like twist its way into the wound, and then just a rip as the blade is pulled up to basically bifurcate from abdomen to skull, split the thing in half.
When you cut, you expect there's the media has shown us what a vivisected human looks like enough. That you would know that the tentacles and arms and teeth that are showing up in the center of this creature, this was no longer human.
Oh yeah.
By any stretch. Like this thing was more Fomori than it used to be, or than it is Shell.
Yeah. More Bane than person.
Mm-hmm. And with her sliding to the ground, the alligator sort of shakes its head and then begins going. It turns around, it looks at you, stares for about 10 seconds longer than is comfortable. Because even in your massive size, this thing is just, it's so alien, it's unnerving.
Yeah.
It's not scary and oh that will probably kill me. It's scary and I have no idea how this thing is going to move.
Yeah, I don't know what this thing is going to act like.
And it begins walking through the different containment units until it gets to a one containing a porcelain doll that has been dismembered and just begins like scratching into the.
Callisto will walk over and check what the label is in that tank.
The label is anomalous object 416.
Okay. Assuming that what is here is looking for that for a purpose, she'll crack it open.
And the alligator crawls into this, and there's definitely not enough space for it to have gone in there, but like vapor into a jar, the entire alligator fits and squeezes in, and there is the sound of crunching, and the glass shatters and compacts suddenly and begins writhing and twisting, and eventually folds itself back out, and there is a small teenaged individual,
Oh no.
long silver hair dangling down. Oh, fuck.
Welcome back to consciousness, Luna.
Oh, don't start with that name. Hey, two golden spheres, just like Ryan's. Callisto.
That'd be me.
I think you could be a little more human, considering the legends. And she will turn and slide out of the cylinder, and then she will stand up and then immediately crumple to the ground.
Hey, she'll reach down and offer a hand.
Right. Not used to this form.
Well, if you don't like the name Luna, what should I be calling you?
We'll figure that out at a different point. We should get out of here. Your friend's not safe.
No, but all of this needs to not be here. They can't start this project up again.
Absolutely agreed.
So let's make sure it's gone when we leave.
She walks over to the supercomputer, glass just shattering as she walks. And she just places a hand on the supercomputer and begins sliding it down as she walks in front of the screen. And the machine just starts literally bleeding silver. And then you start to see the components of it all start to move, and then all of the wires within just start crawling out like insects and go scatter all across the room into other corners, and then throughout the facility. Well, it's at least not together anymore.
It's a start. Let's get out of here.
You know this is going to make everything tomorrow much more difficult, correct?
Yeah, but I figure, all things considered, I think we've won the bigger victory, not letting them move you and all your tanks that you had been put into.
If I think it will all be okay still, considering if there's no communication from this spot.
Yeah.
Right, I'm
The head
actively
honcho's
reading
dead.
your mind.
Everything that would be sending an alert out is broken.
As you make your way out of the building, you see that large pattern spider that started the fight earlier comes around a corner and begins walking towards you. It gets about 15 feet away from you, makes eye contact with Luna, and then just turns and starts climbing up the building.
Callisto, while they're walking, is going to roll to shift down because currently she's been speaking through her Grawl face, so she's going to, assuming the thing will actually roll. She'll shift back down into not into Hamid, but into Arkas. So she's at least in a combative form, but not her Krynos form.
You see Luna just sort of look off in the distance and then smile and give a wave. Carrie, Orion has turned you back around and began walking you back towards the compound.
Okay.
And about 100 yards from the building, you can see Callisto and another figure, completely nude, long silver hair, just waving. Well, two of you actually did it. The three of you. I can't. Can I? I need to get over to the other side, please.
Yeah, is that Luna talking?
No, that's Orion to carry.
You need to get over to the other side.
I need to go. We need to go back over to the compound, and I need to go to the other side.
I thought that couldn't happen.
I have to do something for you all.
Okay. All right. Well, there's enough weird shit going on today. Okay, let's go.
Callisto, they get probably 10 feet apart, and Luna looks like she's going to go and hug Orion, who just puts up a hand and like stops her and keeps walking towards the depression that Crystal's car made into the building.
You looking for something, Orion?
A lot of somethings. It's gonna be a jigsaw puzzle.
I don't know if I should be here for this.
I think I got what you're advising. I thought you couldn't get to the real without causing catastrophe.
That's what I thought.
I don't have to go across fully.
All right, well, let me at least make a door for you.
That's all I need.
Yeah. As Callisto will conveniently, the Grawl do this right for exactly what he's looking for.
Wait,
I will do the right of rending the gauntlet.
Am I still holding a small child?
You are still holding a limp child.
Oh, okay.
Just lifeless, limp, noodle like child.
Okay.
That's an extra surprise, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I might recommend putting that one down if it is actually malice, as the Fomorian suggested it is. Callisto says as she pulls her arm into a claw.
Okay. We can put her. We can put it down, but they're still here.
What's the difficulty of the gauntlet here?
8.
Putting a willpower into this.
I mean, what difference would she make? And my arms are on the ground.
I mean, fair enough. I just don't know whether you want to hold the embodiment of malice.
I was trying to figure out whether you meant put her down or put her down.
But-
Yeah,
Oh,
It
this is
takes-
Carrie you're talking to.
It
I know.
takes-
But
takes
I'm
about-
talking about Callisto.
Takes
Okay.
about 30 seconds, but she just sort of drives her claws into the air and then just.
And those of you who look through, you see the flaming wreckage that used to be whatever vehicle Crystal was driving. Just with half that building crumpled into it and around it.
It's okay. The guy was insured, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Look, if he was street legal for California, there's got to be some sort of insurance here. That would get a large loss. Fun fact.
Want me to do this?
If you are planning on doing what I think you are, yes. I think it'll piss her off, which is perfect.
Well, when you put it like that.
I don't quite understand your motivations, but okay. And he starts doing some movements with his fingers, which is a lot more than you've seen him do for literally anything else he's done. It's been just blinking or like just a movement finger or a snap of a finger, and
I do want it noted. I do want it noted that when Entropy comes to you guys, he's got a shawl wrapped around his head, like the grannies from Bluey.
Yep.
All of this is happening while there is a like moon print purple shawl over his head.
Really?
Amazing.
my God.
10 out of 10, no notes.
And you start to see it's slight at first, but you're starting to see rubble be moved. Not in the manner of people picking it up and moving it physically, but like bricks have been displaced elsewhere. Metal starts to pop and creak as it's being formed back into the shape it was supposed to be. And after about 5 minutes, there's a mostly intact vehicle with a slumped over, just completely dead Crystal at the wheel.
Yep.
And Orion sits down.
Callisto just sort of reaches through the hole in the gauntlet, grabs her body, and pulls her through the hole.
Luna walks over, crouches down, wraps her arms around Orion. You did really good.
The hole shuts behind Callisto after she pulls the body through.
Let me finish. You did very well. You're getting better. Your powers are improving. You'll be as strong as me one day. And she stretches up, walks over and sits beside wherever you lay Crystal. Okay. Well, bring her back to life. She's just looking at Callisto.
You know, I haven't learned how to fight Manji yet.
I suppose that's fair. Well, can't expect a bear to do the moon's job. She'll.
Believe me, if I knew how, I would. But that's not a ritual that's been passed on to me yet.
It might in time.
Carrie is just going to look more and more confused and hang on to the limp noodle child in her arms.
Carrie, is it?
Yes.
Bring that here, please.
You seem a little more put together than Orion.
Carrie's going to walk over and gently put the child down.
How do you mean? I'm just the same as Orion.
You seem more aware of human concepts.
Well, let's think here. I'm a being attached to
The
not
moon,
only
the moon has a
emotion-
bit more. The moon is a bit closer to humanity than the concept of entropy. Yeah, I'm kind of putting that together.
It's not that Orion doesn't want to understand, it's that the understanding you goes against his nature.
Well,
Entropy does not care for the suffering or happiness of humans, it just is.
I think Clover's making some progress. She says, looking over at Orion, who is still wearing the shawl.
She's made him smile, that's for sure.
I'd made the concept of entropy smile to my bingo card of weird things my tabletop characters have done.
Crystal,
Yo,
there is the brief moment of you thinking, well, hope this doesn't go back, and then you sit up and take in a breath. It is painful, and you're fairly certain you're not sure what happened in that instant that you blinked, but like there was a lot of screaming, there was a lot of red, there was a lot of howling and pain and wait, what was it? What was it? I don't know. You know, dreams are really weird to hold on to, and just, hey, all your friends are here.
Most of them, anyway.
Yeah, some of your friends are here. You're laying on the ground and there's a strange woman touching you.
please tell me the car did not survive.
No, it's in one piece.
That seems unlikely. But
Entropy's unlikely like that.
I put it back together.
Crystal get added back to the group chat.
Yes.
Clover kind of just over totem phone goes, can I get a play-by-play? Because there's weird things going on in my head right now. I love you all. Did someone leave the chat dramatically and then re-enter like Cusco?
Just
We'll
Crystal.
call it that for now.
Okay.
A little bit more viscerally than that, but yeah.
I had my suspicions. My altar has been rearranged for morning, but I guess I can take it back down.
Luna will stand up. You should tell your friend that we need to all meet and make plans, since I think you're supposed to go to the Endron building tomorrow. Now, at least.
About 5 hours from now.
I stand up, twist, pop, 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 pop.
Yep.
Hold
Yeah,
on. One more pop there.
Yeah, every bone in your spine pops as you stand up.
Well, Welcome back, bitch.
See, this is dangerous. I'm gonna start to think I'm immortal.
I was about to say, you lived, bitch.
Uh-huh.
I do have to say I'm glad I can control my impulses. The urge to snuff out your life like a candle as soon as you said that was enticing.
There'd be worse ways to go. So how did it go? What's the plan?
Callisto indicates to
Who-
Luna
yeah,
and
who's the goth teen?
that would be Luna, or whatever you feel like being called at this point.
We can go with Luna for the moment. It'll be fine. We will change that to something later.
It
Callisto
fits the goth teen
Callisto,
aesthetic.
Callisto eviscerated whatever the fuck was Aaron Carver.
Good.
The computer is currently in several different animated pieces, writhing its way through every other bit of machinery in the house right now. So
Good times too.
they're not getting any of that research back.
Sweet.
And with Carver dead and the entire machinery of the house slowly eating itself, no alerts going out. So theoretically, we can still perform the Endron attack.
So nothing went wrong. Perfect.
By virtue of literal gods, yes.
Oh no, even if that wouldn't have happened, nothing went wrong.
I mean, other than you like having to
I see this as a success.
turn you off and turn you back on again. I mean,
Where the above table? Where's Malice in all of this?
Laying next to Crystal.
Okay, just keeping track of the map. We're good.
What do you two want to do with your cousin over there? She says, looking down at Malice.
Wait, that's not.
no.
Who the fuck is that?
Apparently Malice.
Okay, one thing went wrong.
And Luna just loses it. Now that I've gotten to actually use her energy, that's no, your friend thought they got the spirit of Malice. No, I'm sorry.
I wouldn't call her a friend. Carver's not exactly someone I cared for.
No, not Malice. She'll just be sad to realize that she's created a regular little girl.
A regular what?
A regular little girl.
Really? I mean, congratulations for mad science on actually creating life, but fuck him. I'm assuming that means that she can go onto the real just fine.
I would assume, though, she's going to have some difficulties.
What do you mean?
Say,
Why?
She kind of skipped growing up, didn't she?
Why would we put her back in the real?
Because she's literally just a regular little girl, as far as we can tell.
Well,
Sure.
there is the whole Ken doll aspect.
Right. They are kind of.
More to the point, why would you put her in the real when she won't be able to get back to her family here?
That's fair, actually. I'm assuming you two would probably rather have her along with you.
Yeah, I guess the real question is where do the three of us go from here?
Well, I figure for right now, back to Clover's place so Orion can finish watching Bluey. And then from there, we see where it goes.
I think an evening of handling Bluey before a morning of destroying a bunch of worm creatures sounds like a wonderful way to spend the first few hours of our existence.
Sounds like a plan. Orion, shall we?
Yeah.
Erie is gonna pick up the little girl again.
This is the first time she has moved, but she curls into you and just grips your clothing.
Carrie just shushes her very gently and holds her closer.
To be clear, we're not
That's-
walking back, right?
You guys are in the Umbra outside of Clover's home.
Perfect.
No, we're
They-
not. We're already there.
All right, cool.
Are you coming inside?
I mean, Callisto's gonna make her way inside. Yeah.
Yep.
Look, when you walk in, Clover, the altar in the center of the room, is in disarray, and it's obviously the like, I very quickly did something and now I need to undo the something. But there is a number of bones on there, including a raven skull and a
Which I'm assuming all this is visible just through the hole in the gauntlet.
Mhm.
that we've
yes,
been using to watch Blue.
coyote skull, lots of different smaller bones, and in the center is the death tarot card leaned against the cauldron there. And several there's so many actual crystals all around. Clover just dumped her entire collection to make a memorial to Crystal. So, and she can I sense y'all in the Umbra being in my house, or
I mean, I think once we step into view of the hole that's probably
Okay.
still there, you can
Yeah.
see us on the other side.
Whew, hi,
Sup? That's
food?
cute.
It's rest in awaken pieces. I
Yep.
don't know. Yeah. Okay. That's a new one. Lots of new things today. Pizza.
Sure.
I could do Chinese if anyone would prefer that.
It is like 4 a.m.
I was about to say, there's actually this really great Chinese place that's like half Chinese and then also half bar food that delivers till 5 a.m.
Yeah, call them.
I will warn all of you, there may be gastrointestinal issues involved with ordering from this place. It's fine.
I think
I've only gotten food poisoning every time I've eaten there because food is still to die for.
No, literally,
Literally.
there was a place like that down the street from me when I lived in Grant Park. It was called Burger Joy. And it was the only place that was open once I was too drunk to drive. And so I got it a lot. And I paid for it.
Yep.
A lot.
Fair.
That's where my brother lives.
Let's get some food, watch some more Bluey with Orion, and then tear down the Endron building in the morning.
It sounds like a plan.
That's a weird way to pronounce get drunk until you pass out, but sure.
Clover walks
You're the
over.
one who always says that we can literally just deal with that by shifting.
Clover walks over to the credenza at the end of the room and opens it up, and it is just all liquor.
You say that as if I wasn't saying being passed out is the goal.
um,
I mean,
Clover-
if being passed out is the goal, I can make you dead again.
let's not. And puts on Bluey and goes into the kitchen. One makes the order. You can hear her talking on the phone, like she's talking to an old friend. She orders from this place a lot, and then comes out with just armfuls of snacks and dumps them on the couch.
That's pleasant. Go on.
I suppose we should post up and rest up.
Harry looks around to. Can we? Because there's not really any beds in the Umbra, is there?
I mean, you can just step through, Callista says, pointing to the hole.
Well, I don't want to leave. She motions to the child.
Clover disappears upstairs this time and comes back with a Bluey sleeping bag.
She should be able to cross.
I just didn't want to. Okay.
If it would ease you to let her sleep on the reel, then until she wakes up, by all means.
I just didn't want to take her away from you all. I didn't want you to think that. I just. Waking up in the waking up in the Umbra be a little unsettling.
Yeah.
So Carrie is going to take the sleeping bag. She's going to take some sofa cushions. Or actually, is there a pull-out sofa?
The sofa in the living room is a pull-out sofa. There's also Clover's office, which has a love seat, and then kind of the room that she usually entertains Percy in that has lots of cushions and stuff in.
Carrie is going to take the child
Mhm.
to the pillow room.
That is
Oh.
exactly what it is called. It is
To the pillow. And just let me know when food gets here.
Will do.
There is a pleasant evening had as people either indulge in the cartoons, enjoy their food, or indulge in liquor and pass out. However, the evening happens. The following morning comes.
I have one thing for the evening.
Okay.
As Clover is making sure everyone has a spot to sleep, she is going to turn to Callisto, and as everyone's kind of settling in, and be like, "I have a king size bed. None of my couches are large enough to accommodate you. You can stay there. I'll get a couch."
You don't have to do that. I'll be fine.
No, you're not sleeping uncomfortably. I can curl up in a corner and be fine.
We could. You don't have to do that. I'm pretty certain you said it's a king size bed. There's room for both of us.
Is this going off over a totem phone or a personal
I'm
conversation?
pretty certain that's out loud.
Personal conversation.
Yeah.
He's not letting anyone hear this.
As I say, if Carrie can hear this, like, take the fucking bed and go to sleep.
Yeah, Clover's like, all right. There was only one bed. And then goes to get ready for bed.
There's only ever one bed.
For the record, by the way, Crystal is not actually getting drunk. That was just a joke.
Mhm.
She is hanging out in the just in the living room.
Okay.
Did she get the equivalent of a full night's rest while she was dead?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she's up. She's hanging out,
Yeah.
being personable.
You figured maybe for like dying you'd be a lot more tired, but no, you're kind of wide fucking awake.
Yeah,
You kind of got rebuilt in normal conditions, so
right.
that includes a full night's rest.
Before Clover had gone upstairs with Callisto, she just could tell that Crystal was wide the fuck awake, and Clover just motions to the little like cabinet kind of thing to the right of the couch, and just says, "If you do want to have a relaxing night," and just knocks the top of it. Crystal, if you open that cabinet, it is where the bag of holding gets free supplied.
Okay. Good to know. I think I'm probably good. I should probably spend, at least my first night after coming back from the dead. Okay.
I don't know. You proved that you don't only live once. So
Yes, if you have a god as a friend.
and they're sitting right there watching Bluey. You're fine. Don't worry. There's nothing that's dangerous to Odeon in there. You're fine. Good night. That's in the medicine cabinet.
Sleep is had. And the following morning, a concerted effort and planned to hell and back event happens. The werewolves descend on the Endron building, the Ajaba holding up any of the police interference that may pop up. A number of the Anansi controlling web traffic in and out. Traffic being handled by different Bastet. And the operation goes off with minimal losses. All said and done, 2 lives are lost on our side, and that's it.
Which is not bad considering they were packing silver.
Yes. All said and done, at the end of the day, it's about a 10-minute operation, but it's 10 minutes of brutal slaughter.
And the aftermath.
And the aftermath is the building going up in flames. With, again, a little bit of intervention and it taking a little too long for the Sacramento Fire Department to be able to get there and put out the fire in a reasonable amount of time to prevent any damage. And Endron itself, this facility at least, is shut down. In the coming weeks, you guys find a sort of rhythm to fall into. You get jobs every now and then from members of the coalition asking you to either be representatives for something that the wolves are doing or to keep on top of any new companies that are moving in looking for development in the area. You're being told to reach out and start making other menageries if you can. But the biggest thing over these few weeks, it was finding a home for Luna Orion. And what would the group have named the third child?
I mean, Callisto, being the philosophical and sappy individual that she is, would have pushed for the name of Hope. But
God damn it, get
I
out
was
of my
right there.
head.
I was right there with you.
I actually wasn't going there, but
100%.
I was like, it was either going to be Hope or Faith.
And it is confirmed that Luna and Orion cannot come to the real, but one of the nifty things that Hope has been able to do is learn to split the gauntlet. So she has been, in these weeks, getting better at it, and learning how to go back and forth to be able to live not a normal life. There's not going to be such a thing as a normal life living with a bunch of shapeshifters. But you guys are making a weird little life work between your menagerie and the weird family you found yourself in possession of.
If you put it that way, it sounds like they're tied up in the back room.
That's true. That you guys found yourselves taken care of.
There we go.
I like to think, and my menagerie can stop me, but as much as we are all together, Carrie kind of moves Hope into her apartment. You're like, because we're all together all the time anyway, but it's like, here's a base with like, you need to go over there. When you need to come back over here, come back.
You have your own space. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And
Clover gives you the login to her Disney Plus, so she has Bluey.
Yes.
And with things looking a lot brighter in Sacramento and hopefully in California on a whole, that is where this series and this story ends for the time being. So that is it for Screams of the Sun. We will be back in the coming weeks with a new story being run by Shawnee. If you'd like to go ahead and give your speech for that.
Yes. When we come back, we will be joining in on a story going by the title of Chronicles of Devastada. Welcome to a D&D, definitely it's a D&D game, 5th edition, but it's still thematically and storytelling-wise probably more in line with the games you've already seen on the Monday. There will probably be many, many sessions in a row with no combat whatsoever. But the welcome to a world that is lacking in history, but certainly formed into a place that is going to present interesting challenges in a world that has been separated, divided up into numerous balkanized and individually unique, but all universally extreme and perhaps not ideal societies. The question of revolution comes to mind, and whether or not individuals can truly create a better world when the forces arrayed against them are familiar and unique all at once. And we'll see that next time.
That is it for us tonight. So say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.